Live breaking news.
We begin with breaking news.
Breaking news.
And specifically about Tony Blair now.
Get out! Get out! Everybody get out!
Three quarters.
When there's a story, they're there to tell you. They are the men and women of the press.
Get out of this jail in Thailand.
News 8's Phil Blauer comes into work and waits for his story. I interviewed Phil Blauer when he spoke at Career Day.
10:30. The assignment desk or the producer will talk to me about my story assignment.
It is hard to walk through the newsroom and not hear the commotion of the place where the stories are found, the assignment desk. Once assigned, Phil Blauer researches his story.
So basically what I'm doing is I'm sort of researching, looking for background information on the story that I'm going to get ready to do.
While Phil researches, Jeff Zevley goes on assignment to a sewage spill.
Writer, I try to be a storyteller. I try to find the angle that would be enjoyable and understandable for Joe Blow just sitting on his couch.
After filming and conducting interviews, Jeff and his photojournalist must edit their story.
So when you first come in, we would sit there and actually record all this video into the computer. So he'll actually sit here and go, oh, I like what he says at 9:21, whatever, and he writes that on his script. Then at the end of when he hears what the last thing the guy's going to say, he'll go, oh, and it ends at 9:30:31. Then when he gives me his script, I have those times written,
it's kind of hard to do,
so I know exactly what he wants to use. And then we just sit back here and edit. If your video's in the system, you can get a story done in like 25 minutes.
They then use a transmitter to feed the story to the studio.
If it's closer, if it's here in the county, they go out and put the mast up in the big van there. It sends a microwave signal to there. We bring it, and it's linked back here to the station. We bring it back in.
So the producer then takes all of the stories and decides what's going to run in the newscast.
And you put all the stories together in the computer and you decide how much time they're going to get, if you're going to run video, if you're going to run sound bites, if it's going to be live or not.
Writers race to finish scripts while editors jam to dub and edit footage in a room kept dark to make screens easily seen.
I put together all the little pieces of video that you see on the news, from the top teases all the way down to the kicker.
How many stories would you say you edit a day?
40, 50,
40? So
somewhere in there. I'm real fast.
You're very fast?
Real fast.
The newsroom is like a marathon, with everybody racing against time.
You have to learn how to manipulate the clock. The clock cannot beat you.
That can be stressful. Working under a deadline.
There are times when it's stressful, yeah. Especially when there's breaking news and everything changes.
As the news hour approaches, excitement builds.
It's mayhem in there. I mean, people are running around with scripts, tapes and discs are flying everywhere. You know, somebody missed something, they can't figure it out. I mean, and then, the computers go down. I mean, it's nuts. It's controlled mayhem to a degree, but you know, at the same time, it's fascinating.
The mood's a lot calmer in the studio as the anchors prepare to go live. The anchors must read through and edit the scripts. Throughout the show, the scripts will be shown on a teleprompter in front of the camera. The anchors are not the only ones preparing.
I'm a little stressed out right now because I have a live shot in about 3 minutes.
After setting up their live shot, it is essential to keep close communication with the studio.
Got my IFB in my ear so I can hear the producers. That leads to this box that I have in my pocket. This way I can hear the anchors talking to me and the producer telling me how many seconds I'm out. I'm a little pumped because, like I said, 3 minutes out.
A breaking news alert right now. Gunfire erupts inside the CNN Center.
Our broadcasting class watched a newscast from inside the studio.
Patch up a ruptured pipe that spilled more than 4 million gallons of sewage.
The show has begun. Now, it's time for Jeff. Jeff's adrenaline rushes as he goes on live in front of thousands of viewers. This is called a stand-up, usually the opening or closing to a story. As Jeff delivers his stand-up, the shot goes black.
Yeah, like the show went to black, and then the anchor said my roll cue, but she was in black, so it didn't air. And so then I stepped back in the shot, and she did the roll cue again, and I just kind of leap of faith said it, and I didn't even know if I was on TV or not. So I mean, it's very stressful last minute at times. Technical difficulties can just bite you at the last second, and they did today, but it worked out.
Jeff may be done for the day, but the studio works through the whole hour. The heart of the broadcast is in the control room. You can't see them at home, but without them, you wouldn't see anything. The control room is in charge of anything technical in the newscast. Their job is to make the producer's show order come to life. One interesting thing the control room controls are the maps for the weather forecast. At home, you see this. In reality, it's this. It's called a green screen. Maps and images are simulated using computers. When Natasha Stembach gives her forecast, she looks at TV screens around her to see where to point and what's going on behind her. The show finally ends at the end of the day. After all the work and the stress and the mayhem, they take the night off.
Live tease in 2 minutes.
Good night, San Diego.
Then get up the next morning and do it all over again.
Good morning, San Diego.
For CMS TV at News 8, I'm Rory Gallagher.